Hello everybody and welcome to Sim Race TV. We're coming to you live from Knoxville Raceway. So get your cold drinks, your snacks, or whatever you might need, get ready. Because tonight, we're getting dirty. Good evening, race fans, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody watching, those that will watch. Welcome to Sim Race TV. We're back live tonight for the International Dirt Association's. Yeah, you heard it. The International Dirt Association with the Dirt Outlaws series. Sponsored by these great people here, Norwal Bloodbath, HRT Sim Racing, Canton Wines Diesel Performance, and Ferguson Racing. And Blake Mosley, with Mosley Designs, is out there doing what he can, doing a big part. Special thanks to him tonight for the first race of the opening season of the International Dirt Association, also known as IDA, live on YouTube and Facebook Live and Twitch TV here. So appreciate y'all for joining in here for this exciting event, race number 1. Tonight, the Dirt Outlaws series is bringing to you the Pro Late models from Knoxville Raceway and Iracing.com. Up in the booth, it's me, Jay Weezy, and it ain't easy. I shouldn't have did that. But anyways, it's me, Jay Weezy, up here in the booth. And, man, this is going to be a good one. We're going to have some fun tonight. There's about 11 and a half minutes here left in practice. And last season, Keith Hackney brought home the championship. I believe that's 2 in a row for him, so congratulations to him. We'll see if he can come back and defend that sucker here. And just in a few minutes, I'm going to restart trading paints here, make sure we got all these guys in the room or on the track, and make sure we got their paint schemes. So you might see a little splash screen go up here in just a second. But hey, I tell you what, you better get ready because tonight we're getting dirty here in Knoxville. Hey, if you're out there in the chat, I'm watching Facebook here right now. Let me know how it looks, how it sounds. If I need to turn my mic up or anything like that, let me know, and I appreciate that. Alright, we're back here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that didn't bother you too much. Just getting some things sorted out and trying to get everything together here. It's been a while. We just come off of a break here at SRTV Network. What's up, Robert, out there, and Blake and everybody watching? If you can let me know how it looks, how it sounds. I know I don't look or sound good, but it'd be appreciated. And if not, hey, no big deal. Appreciate you for watching. Enjoy the show. It's going to be a good one here. We got a 50-lapper coming at you from the International Dirt Association's Dirt Outlaws series with the Pro Late models here at Knoxville Raceway. And by the way, this is the opening season for the Dirt Outlaw series, and we'll give you a little bit. They do 20 minutes in practice. 22 cars will make the main event here tonight. Top 4 from the heats. It's going to be 10 cars per heat. And they do a B main, which I think they will. They have more than 22 cars, so they'll do a B main. They'll take the top 6 out of the B main. Won't be a dash race. Qualifying will be 2 laps. And they got pretty strict rules here, and I don't blame them at all. It makes for a lot of great racing. We're looking at our defending champion here coming back in the Elite 7, number 69, with the DirtMillion.com there on the tail section of that. Looking good out there. Keith Hackney. You will get an EOL if you make contact with another driver and it causes a accident or a wreck, so beware of that. They got unlimited fast repairs, quick fixes, whatever you may call them. See how he's getting around this thing, because I'll tell you what, he is a great driver, and he's well deserving to be a part of the Elite 7. Very, very fast guy here. And I mean, right now he's second on the charts with an 18.408. Right now, Richard Murtaugh Jr., this guy right here in the 600 machine, which is new here, I believe, at least new here on SRTV Network. He's on the top of the charts right now with a 13.382. Now, this guy's a new. I tell you what, I've been around iRacing for a long time, and if you haven't ran a race with him, I've seen him in the Legend cars an awful lot here, the Asphalt Legends, but you know, that's back before Dirt, and I believe a little bit into the Dirts. You know, when Dirt came out, he was still running in those cars. But either way, he was fast. You know, I put the smackdown on him there a couple times. He put a smackdown on me, whatever. It is what it is. But they had a blast there at USA in those Legend cars. These guys right now, I'm telling you what, between the top 5 here, you got first place Richard Murtaugh Jr. with a 382, 18.382. Then you got Keith Hackney with a 408. Then you got Kyle Pearson with a 18.417. David Sutton with a 470. Nathan Kessler with a 18.507. So these times are really close here, and that's the top 5 for now. And it's almost a tenth, a little over a tenth there separates the top 5. And then if you look on back from the top 5 back, you got a 5, and then 22nd, which is JD, and he's a lot faster than that. So he might just be playing, you know, sandbagging is what they call it, but you never know. JD Sass really fast out there. But right now he's at 19, so, you know, 3/10 separating 20 drivers. So that shows you how the competition here is here with the Dirt Outlaws series. And like I said, I hope everything is sounding okay. I'm kind of looking at the stuff here. And I tell you what, I'm gonna turn the mic up just a touch. just to make sure, because I know these cars are really loud, they're really fast, and they're really good looking because there's a lot of great paint jobs. So let's go through the field right here while we got 2 minutes left. Let's take a look at some of these paint jobs. There's your pole sitter so far here. The fastest in practice, Richard Murtaugh Jr. And while we're at it, let's throw this up here for you so you see what's going on. The fastest lap is the 382 right there, which is the fastest in this session here. And then you got right behind him, Mr. Keith Hackney here in the 69 machine. True Form race product there on the hood of that machine. That Elite 7 logo right there. And I know he's very proud of that. And hey, man, I can't blame you. To be honest, you know, that's a big accomplishment. But enough of that. Third place here, Kyle Pearson, the number 60. Looking good with the love shouldn't hurt on the front of that thing. Stop the violence on the side, white and purple. Hopefully I got these paint jobs right. And then he's got that take a stand there on the back quarter panel. And then we got David Sutton, which is updating right now. There we go. We got warrant, decals, posters, and t-shirts here from Delta, Ohio. I believe that's what that is. So he's looking good. The number 97 right now, 4th on the charts. Nathan Kessler not on the track, so we can't quite show you his paint job right now. But I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to get a word in with our defending champion, Keith Hackney, and if we can, if he would be so kind to bless us with his presence, that'd be awful cool. So let's see if we can find him here on the radio. Just give me 1 second. And believe it or not, I don't see him. I know he was on the radio earlier. So maybe we won't do that. But let's take a look at some of these other guys here. We got the number 331 machine here. This is Dustin Hall. And right now, he's 9th on the leaderboard here as practice is winding down. And we'll take one look here at David Sutton real quick in the number 97. When these guys switch over to qualifying, they will just disappear. So we'll hurry up and get that in real quick. And Jeremy Freeman right there, just chilling in his car. Ain't got his paint job loaded yet because he's not on the track. So guys, if you're watching and you want these paint jobs to be shown and loaded up, hop in that car and make a lap. All right, Blake. No problem. And give me a little feedback there on what it sounds like. Make sure I ain't too loud or too low. The game ain't too loud or too low and all that good stuff. Because, like I said, it's been a while, man. I'm glad to be back. It feels good. And if you're just now tuning in, I'll tell you what, you're in for a good one tonight. Race number 1 here for the Dirt Outlaws series. And there it is. That number 18. Fat Boy Racing Engines on the side. Simatics there on the back. Jeremy Freeman. The legend, Jeremy Freeman. And another guy we got is that I'd like to show is this guy right here, which is currently number 1 on the charts. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Blake. The number 60 of Kyle Pearson. And he just got knocked down to 2nd here, but I tell you what, this guy is a force to be reckoned with. He's fast week in and week out. And he's definitely a contender for the win and the championship here. And even if he don't think so, I told you so. So it is what it is, right? All right, moving on here to Bailey Cardwell. Right now, Bailey Cardwell sitting 3rd on the charts here in that number 122 machine. Let's see if we can get a look at it there. Tennessee RV Super Center with the Pilot Racing or Pilot Travel Centers there on the hood. I believe it says Vic Hill there with the Valvoline on the back there. Bailey Cardwell, and if you don't know Bailey, I believe it's Davin Cardwell. So I'm sure you've heard that name. If not, you've heard the Cardwells before. So keep an eye on that driver. And we got a couple new drivers here As I'm looking through this field, I'm seeing some new names here for this season, so good luck to all those drivers as well. It's good to have new talent coming over here, and it's a blast watching these guys out there on the track. Right here, look at the paint job on this guy. Gen X Bad, it says. Gen X Bad Racing. Man, I tell you what, that's almost worth rewinding to take a look at that. Look at this thing. Is that not a bad machine there? That's Jesse Isidore right there in that number 15, and I tell you what, that looks great. As we move on, we got Richard Murtaugh Jr. out there on the track right now. And he was fastest in practice, and he was actually fastest in practice before the race because they was running some laps. I went in and checked them out. They didn't know it, but I was watching those guys, and this guy right here was on the top of that chart, and in this practice session, he was the fastest. But right now, he's got his hands full because he's qualified 4th. Keith Hackney on the top of the charts right here, so it's starting off good for Keith Hackney. Let's see if we can get a word in with Mr. Hackney. Keith Hackney, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
I tell you what, man, you're coming back defending champion. Went on a little break there. How'd it feel there?
I felt good, man. I ventured off and started running a lot more supers and, you know, joining Elite 7 here just recently. And I got a good support system behind me, and, you know, I'm ready to get this thing going. Yeah,
and you're putting your car right up on the front row just like you should. And how's it going to be starting here from the front?
That's where I want to, man. We raced the Sizzler a few weeks ago, and I was off a little bit and, you know, had some problems. And I'm just ready this time just to come out with a bang.
Hey, man, well, hey, you're in a good spot here. Good luck out there in the heat race, and hopefully we'll see you in victory lane.
All right, man. Thank
congratulations, man, on that Elite 7, man. It's a good deal. Good-looking car, too.
Absolutely. I love it, man.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Hackney Humble this year. Well, tonight. Anyways. Gotta love these guys, man. I tell you what, we have a blast over here. And we'll go through the field right now. It's Keith Hackney, David Sutton, Kyle Pearson, Richard Murtaugh Jr., Bailey Cardwell, Davin Cardwell, I would say, Nathan Kassler, Kenneth McLaughlin, and hopefully I'm right about that. So don't hate me, Mr. Cardwell, for calling your name out wrong, but I believe it's Davin. Anyways, Austin Carnley there at 8th, Ronald Corkwell, J.W. Anderson rounds out the top 10. And we're moving on. Well, this thing is really getting it tonight. Either that or I've just been gone that long. But we're moving on to our next session here. There we go. All right. Apologize. So, give me 1 second here. All right, our first heat race of the night. It's going to be a lot of fast drivers, by the way. Let's take a look at our field here. Coming off of pit row here, we got Keith Hackney, Richard Murtaugh Jr., Kenneth McLaughlin in heat race number 1, J.W. Anderson, Joshua Van Gore, Jason Nash, Jesse Isidore, and David Kuntz. It's going to be 8 cars here in this first heat. So buckle up, get ready, get your drinks, your snacks, whatever you need. As we're going racing, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks for watching. If you're just now tuning in, you tuned in at the right time. I'm up in the booth by myself tonight. Jay Weezy here for SRTV Network. Sim Race TV for the International Dirt Association's Dirt Outlaws series here. Season opener for season number 1. As we take a look through the field here. Keith Hackney's going to be on the pole here with Richard Murtaugh Jr. on his outside. Followed by J.W. Anderson in the 081 car, Joshua Van Gore, the 454, Jason Nash, the 199 there. The 15 of Jesse Isidore, which is a favorite of mine already just because I like that paint job, and the 19 of David Kuntz. As these guys are going around making one more lap here with the lights off on that pace truck. They're getting set to go green this time by. Here we go. flag in the air. Keith Hackney side by side with Richard Murtaugh Jr. As they come through off of turn 2, still side by side, the high side looking good there for Richard Murtaugh Jr. as Keith Hackney pulls right up to the door on that 600. Looks like the outside line's going to have that momentum as they dive down into the turn. Still side by side, Keith Hackney makes a little ground up there on the bottom. Couldn't quite get it around that 600 of Richard Murtaugh Jr. We got a leader here now. Richard Murtaugh Jr. looking to pull away here from Keith Hackney, and we got a battle behind those guys here. Running third, Joshua Vanguard, J.W. Anderson, and Jesse Isidore in the 5th place there, with the 199 of Jason Nash looking to make his way around him as they battle side by side coming through the turn. 6 laps to go. It's going to be 5 when he crosses that start-finish line. Right now, Keith Hackney looking to put the pressure on Richard Murtaugh Jr. He makes one mistake, Keith Hackney will be there to capitalize. You can guarantee you that. Still side by side. Richard Murtaugh couldn't keep that lead there like he wanted to, and Keith Hackney moved in there, tried to make a run there, but right now, still Richard Murtaugh Jr. holding down that #1 spot. Keith Hackney, Joshua Vanguard, J.W. Anderson, Jason Nash, Jesse Isidore, David Kuntz, and Kenneth McLaughlin right now is behind the wall, 5 laps down, and I believe he didn't ever run a lap, so still side by side there, almost side by side there. Keith Hackney looking to make a move there on the bottom. I don't think he can do it here at Knoxville Raceway. This big old circle. By the way, we'll take a look at the racetrack conditions and the air temp and all that stuff after this one. It's 2 to go right now with Richard Murtaugh Jr. out front of Keith Hackney, your defending champion, looking to bring home the first win here for the Dirt Outlaws series here, season opener. In heat race #1, the white flag is out for Richard Murtaugh Jr. As he slides one more time through 3 and 4, Keith Hackney pulls up to the back bumper there as they come side by side here, sliding into the wall. Hey, it was over though. The start-finish line was done. As we take a look, Richard Murtaugh Jr., Keith Hackney, Joshua Vanguard, J.W. Anderson, Jason Nash, Jesse Isidore, David Kuntz, Kenneth McLaughlin rounds out the field as we move on to heat race #2. Just knocking these things down. In the meantime, like I said, we're going to take a look at our track information tonight here at Knoxville Raceway. No wind, 70 degrees, 100% humidity, a little bit of overcast, 10% fog. And we got a 4-mile race coming right at you here. It's going to be an 8-lap race. And the ones that are going to be out there this time, let's take a look. David Sutton Jr. in that 97, starting first row inside. The 122 of Bailey Cardwell, which is, I believe, Davin. I ain't going to keep saying that. I'm just going to start saying Davin. All right, Davin Cardwell is going to be on that outside row there in that first row of cars. The number 6 of Austin Carnley, second row inside. The 515 starting on his outside. Troy Stuckwish is going to be on the inside third row with Jeremy Freeman in that 18 car on his outside. Fourth row, it's going to be Ralph Connor Jr. in the 4 car with the 24 of Michael Robinson starting last but not least. 8 bad drivers here about to set it off down into turn 1 sideways. And I hope y'all are enjoying this as much as I am. Hey, what's up, David? Good to see you, man. And yeah, I'm sure you could, yeah, that's what I thought. That's Davin. Watch out. Davin's here. Or watch out for them Cardwells. They get you. All right, lights are off on the pace truck as they go around this time. The pace car is going to duck off on the pit road. The 97 of David Sutton's going to lead them off into turn 1 sideways, hopefully. But he's got Davin Cardwell there, so he's going to have to get a great start when the green flag is flying out. Jeremy looking to make it 3 wide there. He backed out of it. Great start for the 97 there of David Sutton. but he gives up the bottom, and the 122 of Davin Cardwell moves on by, takes over that number 1 spot. So the 97 of David Sutton back in second with Austin Carnley and that number 6 machine right behind him. Jeremy Freeman trying to move in on Austin Carnley here in that 18. Let's see if he can put that thing up in victory lane one time. Pulling for you there, Jeremy. And right behind him, we got Troy Stuckwish in the 124, the 515 of Chris Cox, Ralph Connor Jr. in the 4 machine, the 24, Michael Robinson right now running 8th. But back up front, look what we got. Davin Cardwell with a car and a half lead over that 97 of David Sutton, with Austin Carnley holding on to that number 3 spot over Jeremy Freeman. But Jeremy Freeman's wanting to make something happen. He needs to get up in there in that top 3, start up towards the front in this main event here tonight, because we got 50 laps coming right up after these heat races. And I believe we might have a B main. I'm not for sure, but contact. The 97 and the 6 get together there. David Sutton and Austin Carnley causes a little bit of carnage, but no caution as we go back up front to Davin Cardwell. Davin holding on to that number 1 spot with a nice lead over, guess who? The 18 of Jeremy Freeman took over that number 2 spot, and Troy Stuckwish lurking right there in 3rd. Oh, I hate to see that between Austin Carnley and David Sutton. Austin was nice. David Sutton had a nice, was holding on to a nice spot there. A little contact. We'll go back and take a look. Right after this, we're on 2 to go with Davin Cardwell holding on to the lead here, looking to take home the win for heat race number 2. And Jeremy Freeman, no pressure from behind with Troy Stuckwish running in 3rd. Take a look at Troy Stuckwish right here. 1, 2, 3 is checked out, but we got a battle here for 4th between Chris Cox and Ralph Connor Jr. Looks like the 515 of Chris Cox has pulled away from that number 4. Checkered flag is out for Davin Cardwell. He's going to bring home the win. Jeremy Freeman in 2nd. Troy Stuckwish 3rd. Chris Cox, Ralph Connor Jr., Austin Carnley. And just like that, it's all gone. I don't know what the rest was, but hey, it is what it is. And hopefully I covered it enough. We got the top 6. Hey, it ain't bad. So we move on to heat race number 3 here. And while we do, let's take a look at some of the great people to help make all this possible here for the IDA, International Dirt Association, Norwalk Bloodbath, Cat and Wines, Diesel Performance, HRT Sim Racing, and Ferguson Racing. And don't forget Mosley Designs there. So we take a look at our field here for heat race number 3. They're out on the track. The number 60 of Kyle Pearson, super fast Kyle, starting on the pole with the 21 of Nathan Kassler there in that mean machine. Good looking Hawkeye sponsor there on the rear quarter. Second row going to be the 85 of Ronald Corkwell. The 331 of Dustin Hall is going to be on his outside. The 22 JD Sass looking good with a new paint job, by the way. It's going to be a 3rd row inside with the 58, I believe, of Josh Corkwell on his outside. And last but not least is Jaden Dahlberg in that number 36 car. As these guys are pacing around, it's about to go down here at Knoxville. Nice track here. Love this place. We have a whole lot of fun here at Knoxville. Who don't like Knoxville? Come on now. Hear them revving them machines up as the pace car pulls in. Green flag set off by the 60 of Kyle Pearson. He gets a great start there over the 21 of Nathan Kassler. Coming off of turn 2, he's single file 1, 2, 3, and 4 up front. We got a little bit of comp here between JD Sass and the number 22 machine. He looks like he's got his hands full of the 85 of Ronald Corkwell, the 22 down on the bottom. They're side by side coming off of turn number 2. As they slide through 3 and 4 here, coming to the start-finish line, it's going to be Kyle Pearson in first. Second place is Nathan Kassler. And Ronald Corkwell just took over that number 3 spot. Either that or I'm just going crazy. We got the 331 of Dustin Hall and JD Sass. We take a wide look here. These guys mostly single file, and up front Kyle Pearson is starting to check out, and he's dragging Nathan Kassler with him. Nathan Kassler's trying not to let him get away. It looks like he's closing the gap there just a little bit, but with 8 laps in a heat race, it's going to be hard to make up that gap, but he ain't giving up yet. So we take a look right behind them. The 22 in the wall. The 85 might have made a little contact with the 22, but they look fine there. As you see, the 58 of Josh Corkwell just rides along that bottom. Looks like he gave that spot back to the 22 of JD. So maybe there was some contact between those two. I'm not for sure. We missed it. 3 to go right now. Kyle Pearson still out front by 0.8. Nathan Kassler in second with a big lead there over third place, Ronald Corkwell. Mostly single file as the white flag comes out here for Kyle Pearson. It's going to be one more time around. He's going to bring it home here for heat race number 3. Looking good here. No pressure from behind. The top 3, like I said, has checked out a little bit from the field here as we take a wide look. As he crosses the start-finish line, the race winner here, the number 60 of Kyle Pearson, followed by Nathan Kassler, Ronald Corkwell, Dustin Hall, JD Sass, Josh Corkwell, and somebody else. I just ain't fast enough, man. I mean, it's only 8 cars, or 7, I believe, in that one. But hey, it is what it is. So we're going to move on. As usual, keep it moving, right? Because we're getting dirty tonight. As you're watching the International Dirt Association, the Dirt Outlaws series, and the Sim Addicts have merged together with the IDA. And if you want to know a little more information about these guys, look at the description of the video that you're watching. If you're watching on Twitch, check us out on YouTube or Facebook Live. I believe most of the information is on the YouTube side. It does have all the information in the description on the YouTube side. So, hey, like, subscribe, or not if you don't want to. That's fine. But appreciate you for watching either way. As we move on to the consolation, looks like it's going to be 11 cars here. Starting with Jason Nash in the 199. Ralph Connor Jr. in the 4 car, the 58 of Josh Corkwell. And if you wasn't watching earlier when I explained to you how this is going down, top 6 out of the B main, which is this constellation here. Top 6 will move on to that 50-lap main event. And they do 10 cars per heat race. The top 4 from each heat race move on. So I guess that's how we'll start doing it. We'll start calling out the top 4 since I can't get through the whole field there. Let's take a look at the field here, by the way, while we can. The 15 right there, Jesse Isidore, Austin Carnley on his inside there, Ronald Corkwell Jr. in that 19, or in the 85. And then we have David Kuntz right there. That's the 19. The 24 of Michael Robinson, Jaden Dahlberg in the 36, the 67 of Kenneth McLaughlin, and the 97 of David Sutton. Last but not least, here we go. Green flag in the air. Battle. Tough battle there in the back. They got it squared away here as they went too wide into the turn. The number 4 is going to come out with the lead, though. Ralph Connor Jr. takes it over. Running in second, Jason Nash right now. Third, Jesse Isidore in the 15. Oh, we got a race on our hands here, guys. These guys are almost 3 wide right in front of them. Jason Nash, Jesse Isidore right there. The 4. Oh, little contact between the 4. Looks like he gathers it up, hangs on to it. We got a car with a terrible connection there. I believe that is the 67 right now. That's unusual for Kenneth McLaughlin, I believe. Yeah, that's him. The 97 looking to make a move there. It's David Sutton down on the bottom with the 6 of Austin Carnley on his outside as they move in on the 4 machine of Ralph Connor Jr. Right now, looking good up front for Jason Nash in the 199 as he's got a great lead over Jesse Isidore in that yellow number 15 right there as the 4 slides to the inside there. 3 wide through the corners. They're door to door. It's a Austin Carnley sandwich right now. It's the 97 and the 4. Oh, we're on both sides of him there, but that opens the door for the 58 of Josh Corkwell. Now we're 2 wide, 2 rows deep with the 85 lurking right there, Ronald Corkwell. As they go side to side, as Joe White would say, side to side. It looks like the number 6 of Austin Carnley comes out of that. And Josh Corkwell still fighting in that number 58 machine with the 4 of Ralph Connor on his inside. Looks like he got around him, and now Ralph's going to have his hands full of that 85 as we come into 3 to go this time by. The number 4 down on the bottom, holding his line. Very, very great job by him, by the way. I think he's having a little bit of car trouble here as we go back up front to Jason Nash with Jesse Isidore trying to run him down in the 15. As he's running out of time here, he's about to get the 1 to go. The white flag is going to be in the hands of the flagman this time by. He led every lap here in that 199, and he's going to bring home the win right here. 1 to go. And the checker flag is out for the 199 of Jason Nash. He's going to bring home the win, followed by Jesse Isidore in the 15, the 97 of David Sutton, the number 6 of Austin Carnley, the 58 of Josh Corkwell, Ronald Corkwell, and 6th, the 7th place goes to Ralph Connor Jr. And just like that, it's over. All that information disappears right before your eyes. All right, we're going to do a few minutes for warm-up here, and we're going to get set for this main event. 50 laps coming right up here from Knoxville Raceway with the Dirt Outlaws Series here. The International Dirt Association, sponsored by Norwell Bloodbath, Canton Wines Diesel Performance, HRT Sim Racing, Ferguson Racing, and Mosley Designs. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to everybody for watching. And those that will watch. We'll be back in just a minute. Alright, we're back here. About a minute left here, so we'll kind of just hang out for a second. Go over a few of these things. We will be live on Mondays with the Sim Addicts, so stay tuned for that. Gonna be modifieds tomorrow night. For Jeremy Freeman and those guys, the International Dirt Association. And hey, they do 20 minutes of practice. Top 4 from each heat advance, 10 cars per heat. B main, if any, will be top 6. They qualify for 2 laps to qualify for your heat race. 50 lap main event. And, you know, there's not a whole lot of rules besides, you know, drive with some sense. Respect one another. Do not wreck anybody. Do not block, mirror drive, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, if you do cause an accident, you take somebody out, then you're going to get an EOL. And you won't get your lap back. It'll be a 30-second penalty, I believe. Stop and go. Stop and hold, more like. All right, so we're gridding up for our main event here for the International Dirt Association here with the Dirt Outlaws series. And this is the moment I've been waiting for here. It's been a while, man, and you know these guys is back, and they're back better than ever in full force here. The DOS series, as we take a look at our starting grid, and we can't do our normal grid, you know, like our normal grid like that, right? Because it don't work. It just don't work. It don't work for dirt. I don't know why. So what we'll do, we'll take you through the field here. In just a second, as we're taking a look on pit road, let's take a look at who I am. I'm Jay Weezy. I'm up in the booth. Call me Jay West, Jay Weezy, Jay West, Gerald West, Jerry West, whatever. It's all good. But I'm up here. It's me, and it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to have anybody that's out there watching, if any, and hopefully there is. Hopefully you're enjoying it as well. But Richard Murtaugh Jr., he's going to be on the pole here. He's starting up front here in that number 600, which I'm not sure if that's temporary or not, as the fireworks fly. Take a look at those things. Pretty cool fireworks, man. It's 4th of July, Independence Day just passed. Keith Hackney's going to be on the outside of that front row with the 60 of Kyle Pearson, second row inside. The 21 of Nathan Kassler, second row outside. Third row inside, Jeremy Freeman. He's going to have the 80. The 124, Troy Stuckwish. Sorry about that. I'm looking at these, the system over here, and it's not quite right, but the 454 of Josh Van Gore right there in that 4th row inside. And let's take a look at him. Let's make sure here. He's got the 081 car of J.W. Anderson. It's going to be on his outside, followed by the 331 of Dustin Hall. Dustin Hall's got the 22 of J.D. Sass on his outside, the 515. And we're not going to make it through the rest of the field because the green flag is in the air for these guys. It's the top 4. Single file already here, and they're 3 wide behind them. So let's keep an eye on this pack behind them. Wow, as they come off the turn, 1, 2, 3 cars in the wall. But no caution yet as they stack up in the back. Good Lord, we can't even keep an eye on these guys. Look at all the cars here for the International Dirt Association. The Pro Late models here with the Dirt Outlaws series. It's JD Sass trying to thread the needle between the 2 guys there. And wow, the 90s, daggone, who was that? The 199, I believe, of Jason Nash was trying to follow him up through there, and he just gets a little bit of, he gets clipped a little bit. Right now, David, let's see, Davin is in 13th out of 22, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But let's take a look at the replay real quick and find out what happened to this guy, because, wow, he took a lick. Where'd he go? Missed it. All right, we'll take it through here. One time, JD Sash threads the needle in between the 081 and the 331. The 199 of Jason Nash makes a little bit of contact. So we take one more look here. He tries to follow him through there. And wow, he flips down the backstretch into the wall there. But they got unlimited quick fixes here, so it should be fine. And he'll get that thing back out there and maybe work his way up through the field. We know he's fast, so don't count out the 199 of Jason Nash just because of that. It's a long way to the end of this. So we got 45 laps to go. But right now, Richard Murtaugh Jr. is on the pole here. Looks like he held on to that lead over Keith Hackney. Keith Hackney's going to be second row, or starting second on the outside first row. Then we got Kyle Pearson, Nathan Kassler, Jeremy Freeman, Troy Stuckwitz, Josh Van Gore, JD Sash, Dustin Hall, David Sutton rounds out the top 10. And then just out, we got Austin Carnley and JW Anderson. All right, the pace car is getting set to move in here and send these puppies flying down into turn 1. We're back live here. Green flag in the air. The 600 of Richard Murtaugh Jr. slides it down into turn 1, but Keith Hackney got a one heck of a run there. And Keith Hackney's trying to move in. I'm trying to watch a lot of this racing going on towards the back. So we got a couple cars out, and we just caught that live there between the 85 of Ronald Corkwell and a few other guys. So let's go back and see what happened. So there was a lot of battling going on right here. And I believe it started around the 15. Somewhere around him. They gather it back up. The 58 hard into the wall. Oh no. I gotta watch that one more time. Oh, looks like the 58 made contact with the number 6 car of Austin Carnley. It turns him up into the wall. And I tell you what, let's take another look from the 15 here. That's one heck of a lap. So we'll do a whole lap here with the 15. You see everybody's being really patient here, but there's a lot of cars, and then all of a sudden in your blind spot you get a whacking, and all of a sudden you're in some carnage. But like I said, these guys have unlimited fast repairs, so we should be fine. They'll get them things back patched up, good to go, back out there on the track, and they try to work their way back up through there. But right now we'll take a look at our top 5. Keith Hackney looks like he's up front. Let's double check, make sure. Keith Hackney stole the lead there right before that caution came out and put Richard Murtaugh Jr. in second. Third, still Kyle Pearson. Jeremy Freeman still holding on to 4th with Troy Stuckwitz in 5th. Nathan Kassler, JD Sass, David Sutton, and Davin Carwell moved up to the 11th spot here. Let's take a look at Davin real quick. The lights are off on the pace car. Things still looking good. Not a scratch on it. So he's up there in the 11th spot right now. And it says he started second right there. And he's currently 11th, which he must have had an EOL or some kind of rule. But the green flag's back out. So we'll look at these guys here as the top 4 are checking out on these restarts. And they're getting single file and they're moving. Right now, Keith Hackney holding on to that number 1 spot, but he's got a lot of pressure from Richard Murtaugh as Richard dives it to the inside, tries to pull a slider, but Keith Hackney crosses him over, and they're side by side down the straightaway here. Keith Hackney on the bottom, slides across the nose of Richard Murtaugh. It's going to be on Richard. He crosses him over. Where's the momentum? Momentum right now. Still on the high side right now as you see Richard try to make another slide job there with the 60 of Kyle Pearson just lurking from behind, trying to find an attack point. as these guys are battling for the lead back and forth. Richard Murtaugh Jr. on the bottom with Keith Hackney on the high side. Kyle Pearson running in third. Hey, Daryl Brumfield. Thanks for watching, man. This is a good one right here because it's a battle between Richard Murtaugh Jr., Keith Hackney, and Kyle Pearson, as Kyle Pearson has had enough. He looks to make a move on Keith Hackney. Can't quite hold it on the bottom. They make a little bit of contact, but no harm, no foul. But Richard Murtaugh Jr. has stole the lead as he's still out front, and Keith Hackney's trying to do what he can do to hold on to that number 2 spot because Kyle Pearson wants it. Kyle Pearson, he might end up with the lead here as we're on lap 17 of 50. Plenty of time still left here in the main event for the Dirt Outlaws series, the Pro Late Models at Knoxville. And if this ain't getting you excited, I don't know what will. Because right now, these guys are just running, but I have a feeling that Keith Hackney is just riding, and he's waiting to make a move. He's waiting to see what the 600 of Richard Murtaugh Jr.'s car will do here. As the caution flag is out, that's going to slow him down a little bit. It looks like it might be. Let's see if we can find out where that accident actually occurred. Let's look at the replay. I believe we found it here. The 24 right now, Michael Robinson, having a little bit of trouble handling in that car. As the 515 of Chris Cox moves to the inside, has to hold it up there, loses his momentum. The 24 gets into the wall. So he's got an ill handling race car, and we missed that, but we will take one more look, see what happened here. Oh, the 515 and the 4 go around. Looks like the 4, oh, the 515 might have got the worst end of that one. 24 with nowhere to go. He gets caught up in it too. Well, that's going to give these guys a chance to make a move again. Up front, we're going to see some more battling between Richard Murtaugh and Keith Hackney. Kyle Pearson, Jeremy Freeman, and Nathan Kessler right now. Troy Stuckwish in 6th. Davin Cardwell up to 7th as he's moving on up like the Jeffersons would say. That's funny. All right, the lights are off on the pace truck, so you know what that means. He's going to go down pit row, and it's going to be on Richard Murtaugh Jr. this time to send him off slideways down into turn 1. So we're getting dirty tonight. Knoxville, the Dirt Outlaws series. We're almost halfway through this one, and it looks like we're going to be a single file here on this restart. Good start. As the green flag waves, the 600 opens up about a 2-car length lead there over Keith Hackney, but Kyle Pearson's all over his back bumper, and Jeremy Freeman's right there as well as they go side by side as Keith Hackney and Kyle Pearson battling for that number 2 spot with Kyle Pearson on the inside. Looks like the high side's going to pay off there, and Davin Cardwell up to 6th. Single file up front. We'll go back here in this pack. Jeremy Freeman, Nathan Kessler. Then you got the 122 there, Davin Cardwell, Troy Stuckwish, and David Sutton, all fighting for that 5, 6, 7, 8 spot. Looks like the line is up on the high side, just a little bit out of the groove here. Right now, looks like the brakes are on right now because he hasn't made up very much ground here, but he's lurking right there because he's got Jeremy Freeman, Nathan Kessler right in front of him. We got a car on the wall. Let's see if he can hang on to it. Back up front, Richard Murtaugh Jr. still out front with that lead over Keith Hackney. He's opened it up to about 7/10 of a second, almost 8. And then second, we got Keith Hackney. In third, Kyle Pearson. Then we got a battle here for 4th, 5th, and 6th between the 21 of Nathan Kassler, the 18 of Jeremy Freeman, the 21 down on the bottom, and Davin Cardwell right there. Closed that gap just in a lap or two, and he's starting to put the pressure there onto that 18 of Jeremy Freeman as he's all over the back end, but the 18's got his hands full of Nathan Kassler, and well, you know, the caution's back out here just past halfway. Let's see what happens. I don't know what happened. Let's see what happened. Oh, I see something. It's like the 6, I believe, or the 8. Austin Carnley. Yep. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, the 454 and the 6 make contact. They both go around there. A lot of cars make it by on the inside. Let's take one more look, see what happened. The 6 moves to the inside. Slide job right across the nose. The 454 couldn't get it wound up in time, and he makes a little contact there with Austin Carnley. Joshua Van Gore right there in the 454. That's gonna be it's gonna be good for a lot of these guys, like Davin. It's definitely gonna help out Davin in the 122. But right now, still up front, Richard Murtaugh Jr., Keith Hackney, Kyle Pearson, and Nathan Kassler, and Jeremy Freeman rounds out the top 5. DOS sponsored by Norwell Bloodbath, Canton Wise Diesel Performance, HRT Sim Racing, Ferguson Racing, and the Dirt Outlaw Series, the IDA, International Dirt Association. Guarantee you they appreciate all y'all support. We definitely appreciate your support for watching, and we thank you very much for that. Hopefully everybody had a great Independence Day. So we're getting set to go back green flag. The pace car's in. Richard Murtaugh Jr. hammers down. Another great start there for Richard. 3 wide for second, Keith Hackney, Kyle Pearson, and Nathan Kassler, but Nathan Kassler backs out of it. Keith Hackney up on the high side is going to take over that number 2 spot. See if he can run down Richard Murtaugh Jr., but Kyle Pearson got his hands full of Nathan Kassler on the bottom. The 21 machine right behind them. Jeremy Freeman with his hands full of Davin Cardwell there in the 122. Davin's up to 6th. Jeremy Freeman running 5th. Mostly still single file right now, besides the 21 on the bottom still. He's been down there all night, so he must have found something down there. He's looking good on the bottom too. Nice and fast as you see Davin pull a slide. Couldn't quite pull it off there. He's still right behind Jeremy Freeman, the 18. The 18 right in the middle of your screen. Looks like the 21 of Nathan Kessler gets around the 18 of Jeremy Freeman as he sets his sights on Kyle Pearson in that number 60. Right now up front, Keith Hackney 5/10 behind Richard Murtaugh Jr. Richard still holding on to that number 1 spot. What a battle right here between these guys. A lot of great racing going on right now out on that track. David Cardwell putting a work on Jeremy Freeman. Looks like he's having a tough time as he slides across the nose of Jeremy. Jeremy crosses over, hangs on to that number 5 spot. And all of a sudden, the 97 of David Sutton moves in and gets around Davin Cardwell for a second, but Davin fights right back, takes over that number 6 spot, right back from David Sutton. A lot of fast cars. As we go back further in the field, J.D. Sass right here, followed by Troy Stuckwish, the 15 of Jesse Isidore, and Jason Nash right there at the tail end of these 4. This is the closest battle on the track right now, as you got the 15 on the inside. That's Jesse Isidore making a move on Troy Stuckwish. Troy crosses him over with the 199 on the bottom there, and Troy repays the favor here as the 15 tries to pull a crossover. They're going to be side by side down the straightaway. Looks like Jesse Isidore comes out of that one ahead, and that's going to cost Troy Stuckwish a spot there. And then all of a sudden, Troy Stuckwish fights right back, takes it back here as they're back and forth. This is a battle going on. For 8th, 9th, and 10th. Let's go back up front here because Keith Hackney's still all over Richard Murtaugh, which is not really all over him, but I guarantee you he's got his eyes all over him. He's locked on to the back bumper there. Richard Murtaugh Jr. trying to run him down. Nathan Kessler moving in on Kyle Pearson. Kyle Pearson been strong all night running in that 3rd spot. But he didn't have Nathan Kessler on his back end. Now he does, so he's got to step it up here, see if he can't run down that 69 of Keith Hackney. As it won't be long here, and Nathan Kessler's going to be trying to put a move on Kyle Pearson because he's not quite a bit, but he's a little bit faster. There he goes down to the bottom where he's been all night on that bottom. I don't see how he keeps that car so fast down there on the bottom, but he does. It didn't work for him that time, but he's moving back down there, and he's going to get it wore in to see if he can make a pass there on Kyle Pearson. It's going to be hard to do on the outside, but he's not giving up. Right now, Richard Murtaugh Jr. has led 40 laps so far out of the 50 with 2 to go. He's getting ready to get that white flag and maybe the checkered. We'll see. Anything can happen in 2 laps. Keith Hackney still in 2nd, holding on to that 2 spot. And looks like Kyle Pearson has held off Nathan Kessler for the time being. Then we got Jeremy Freeman and the 122 of Davin Cardwell. They're still battling it out as the checker flag's in the hands for Richard Murtaugh Jr. Let's go back and see who wins this battle. Contact. Jeremy Freeman and Davin Cardwell get together as the fireworks go off here at Knoxville. We just did 50 laps and I enjoyed every minute of that. Hopefully you did too. Hey Chris, this is an open setup, Mr. Meadows. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back, see what happened. Oh, contact. That's what happened. You seen it here, folks. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. The International Dirt Association's Dirt Outlaws series put on a great show here. A lot of great sponsors. Mohr Wild Bloodbath, Canton Wines Diesel Performance, Mosley Designs, HRT Sim Racing, and Ferguson Racing there. So thanks to you guys. But our winner tonight, Richard Murtaugh Jr. And so we get a shot there. Give me just a second here. See if we can't get an interview with these guys. It's your race winners right there. He did a heck of a job tonight. He led 42 laps. Third place goes to Kyle Pearson. Second, Keith Hackney. Richard Murtaugh Jr. with the win tonight. He led 42 laps. And Keith Hackney just couldn't do it. Let's see if we can get a word in with our third place finisher here, Kyle Pearson. Kyle, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man, you ran strong all night there in that number 3 spot. Looks like you didn't have a whole lot of pressure there from behind. Nathan Kessler did move in there for just a second, but he couldn't get around you, man. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to make a run for the lead with Keith and Richard throwing a bunch of slide jobs. I got to stick my nose in there a couple times, but I mean, they both had pretty good, strong cars. Nathan did give me a little scare there at the end, but I was able to hold my line. I just kept telling myself, hit my marks, and it paid off.
Yeah, you ran strong all night, and that number 60, loved, shouldn't hurt on the hood of that thing. I like that. That's pretty cool. But hey, man, how's it feel to be back?
Oh, it feels good, man. I've been missing this league.
Hey, anybody you want to thank for finishing third tonight?
Yeah, I better thank Jeremy Capron for my setup. Yeah, and another reason I'm running that car is we had a pretty bad incident around here where I live. We had a woman that was pretty badly beaten and she died from it. So this race was for her. I was hoping to get the win for her, but you know, maybe next week.
Hey, man, that's a good thing, man. Our hearts go out to those kind of people, man, and it's a terrible thing. We need more love in the world. Hey, good talking to you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, man.
That was Kyle Pearson, that number 60, and man, he held on to that number 3 spot all night, and he stuck his nose in there. He had a little nose in there on Keith Hackney there. I thought he was going to get around him, but couldn't do it. Keith Hackney, Shay Weezy in SRTV booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, man, y'all put on one heck of a show out there. Slide job after slide job. Couldn't quite get it, man. Tell us.
Yeah, I seen the opportunity early in the race, you know, and we were swapping the sliders, and it allowed Kyle to punch back up with us, and you know that was just a hell of a battle. I mean, good clean racing, you know, and that's what it's all about. And you know, hats off to Richard, hats off to Kyle. You know, every time we race, it was always pretty clean, and you know, I can't thank them enough for that, and that was a hell of a show. So,
well, you had that true form race product. The DirtMillion.com there on that thing. You had it looking good out there, man, and y'all put on one heck of a show. And I tell you what, I thought you was going to get around him, but, you know, about 20 laps into it, I kind of thought you was just running to see if his car would change or maybe he would make a mistake, and you was just kind of lurking there. What was going on?
Yeah, I was doing that for a little bit, and you know, there was 2 laps that he made a mistake, and I made a bunch of ground up on him, and then afterwards he pulled away just a little bit, then I would catch back up a little bit. And right there late in the race, my car got super tight, and I couldn't even turn it. There was several laps I had to like tap the brake to actually get it to turn. I was trying to hit the cushion going in the turn to get it to turn, and some laps it was working, some laps it wasn't. So I was just happy just to stay where I was at.
Hey, man, well, one heck of a performance tonight for the season opener, and you can't hold your head down. You finished second, and you lost to a tough, fast Richard Murtaugh Jr. So keep your head up, man, and hey, you're part of the Elite 7, man. So come on now, you got to be a little happy. Anybody you want to thank?
Oh yeah, man, I'm super happy. I'm not even disappointed at all. Like I said, I enjoyed it. But yeah, I would like to thank Elite 7 for bringing me on the team here recently. This beautiful race car they supplied me with. Obviously, True Form Race Products, the Dirt Million, and Water Truck Productions, and all the help that they give me, you know, behind the scenes.
Hey, it's
and
always.
And you, of course, Jay Weezy.
Oh, you ain't gotta do that. No, it's always fun watching you, man. You know, and hopefully we'll see you here in Victory Lane next week.
Oh, absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
And good luck this season.
Thank you.
That was Keith Hackney. He finished second to the tough, fast Richard Murtaugh Jr. And I'm here with Richard Murtaugh Jr. Richard, tell us about your race.
Yeah, I knew I had a fast car because I ran official for a while there, and I got a lot of wins out. And then I was with all my teammates over at Bad Racing, and we were hosting a practice, and Keith came in, and I was a tenth quicker than him when he left. So I knew I was in good shape when I was quicker than Keith, because he's always giving me a run for my money. Every race I go in, he's usually front runner. So it was good racing against Keith. I had a lot of fun there. I knew he had a quicker car late in that race. He just outdid me on the springs. Like I seen it when I was following him around the track. My best bet was to run a really high gear so I could make up for the springs being run on my setup. So I was able to run him down there, pull some slide jobs. It was definitely a lot of fun there.
Oh yeah, and you know it's exciting watching you guys go back and forth out there. Two Class A drivers out there. I mean, you've been around for a long time. You know, I've ran quite a few races with you. Like I was saying earlier, I know you probably didn't hear me, but we've ran some legends at USA, and we've ran a lot of stuff. That was a little earlier on before the dirt came out, but it looks like you adapted to the dirt pretty good there. You're awful quick.
Yeah, I'm a pro driver for the 4-ton sprint car series, so I have to be on top of my dirt game at all times. But I haven't really been enjoying the sprint cars lately. I've been running late models with all my teammates.
I tell you what, man. I mean, you know, I poked my head into that practice room y'all had up before this session opened, and you was on top of the charts there over Keith Hackney, and I was like, oh shoot, who's this guy? And then I remembered I've seen you around quite a bit, like I said earlier. And then, you know, the session opened up, and then right back to the top. But then you qualified fourth. Did something happen there during your qualifying run?
Yeah, I qualified with a 504 gear by accident, and because I was testing stuff in that practice session, and I never changed my setup back. So yeah, I was on my practice setup pretty much. So it was terrible. We went out there, and I messaged Keith in between, and I was like, man, I forgot to change gears there after the heat, and that's why I pulled him on the start there, because I had such a high gear on him. And yeah, it was a lot of fun racing them there all throughout the heat and the A main there.
Well, you had that Gen X Bad Racing Rocket Racing set up in there, and it was getting it, man. You look good out there. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Pegny and Americas, Gilmore Eye Paints, Bad Racing, Gen X, Amsoil, and Rocket Racing Setups, and everyone else in the league, and you for broadcasting it.
That's awesome, man. And hey, I mean, to come in here and steal this win for the season open here at International Dirt Association's Dirt Outlaw Series, you really made a statement tonight. So you might have a target on your back, but good luck in this season. And hey, hopefully we see you in Victory Lane week in and week out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Thank you, man. See you.
Hey. Richard Murtaugh Jr. definitely laid the smack down here at the Knoxville Raceway for the Dirt Outlaws Series here for the International Dirt Association. He led 42 laps, brought home that trophy for race number 1. It's going to be a good season. If you're watching, I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned, because we got a lot more coming at you there. We got the Cymatics tomorrow night, by the way. So, hey, come back tomorrow night. You want to see a good one. We're going to be in the Modifieds. We're going to have a whole lot of fun here. And like I said earlier, I'm Jay Weezy in the SRTV Network booth. I enjoyed it, and hopefully I didn't put you to sleep. I doubt that. You know, I'm pretty crazy. But either way, man, special thanks to the International Dirt Association for letting us come on board here at SimRace TV. And these guys, Norwell Bloodbath, Canton Wise Diesel Performance, HRT Sim Racing, Ferguson Racing, and Mosley Designs by Blake Mosley. Special thanks to those guys. And hey, man, the viewers, you guys are what makes this happen, and we really appreciate all the support you get. So if you liked what you seen, click the thumbs up, share it, like it, subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. Hey, follow, whatever you need. And hey, man, love you guys. And until next time, keep getting dirty.